$312. That is what's left in your checking account. On the morning of your 31st birthday, not after your retirement contributions, not after your emergency fund. Total. It's 2:14 a.m. on a Thursday. You're sitting on the edge of your bed, in an apartment that smells like old radiator heat and stale coffee. Your laptop screen is the only light in the room, casting a cold blue tint across the floorboards. You're looking at a spreadsheet you built 3 months ago, during a midnight panic attack, the one you password protected, because looking at it felt like staring directly into a solar eclipse. Your salary is $72,000 a year. To anyone looking from the outside, you're a stable adult, but the numbers don't lie. $6,000 a month before taxes becomes $4,210 in hand. Rent takes $1,750. Car payment, $410. Car insurance, $220. Student loans, $310. Utilities, $180. Subscriptions you forgot you signed up for, $115. Food, $500. That leaves $725, except your credit card statement shows an average monthly spend of $1,080 in a mystery category labeled Life. You've been bleeding $355 into the void every single month for 3 straight years. You close the screen, slide it under the bed, and stare at the ceiling. Here's what nobody tells you about realizing you're broke in your 30s. You don't get to play the game on easy mode anymore. Those compound interest graphs in the back of personal finance books, the ones that show a 21-year-old investing $100 a month becoming a multimillionaire, were written for someone else. Those years are gone. Grieve them tonight. Give it 10 minutes. Mourn the lost decade. Then bury it. Because at 31, you have something a 21-year-old doesn't. Context. You know what stress feels like. You have real skills, you earn real money, and you are finally, mercifully, too tired to keep lying to yourself. The hardest part of this entire process isn't hitting 6 figures. It's saving your first $1,500. In your 30s, $1,500 is a trapdoor. It's an unexpected root canal. It's an alternator giving out on an interstate on a Friday afternoon. It's a wedding trip you can't decline without burning a friendship. Life at 31 has maximum surface area. Everything has a price tag attached to it. Building that initial buffer feels like holding sand in an open hand. You sell the golf clubs you bought during your short-lived pandemic hyperfixation, $210. You cancel every subscription except the one keeping you sane, $115 recurring. You stop buying lunches at work, packing leftovers into scratched plastic containers, enduring the silent, patronizing smiles of your coworkers, $240 a month saved. You work one extra freelance gig on a Saturday, staying up past midnight while your friends are out, feeling a sharp, quiet thrum of humiliation. Then 4 months in, you open your bank app. $1,540. You don't pop champagne. You don't post a story. Who could you possibly tell that would understand why $1,500 feels like a fortress? But as you walk out to your car that morning, your shoulders sit 2 inches lower. You have bought your first slice of air. By 33, you've automated the machine. $450 leaves your checking account every month on the 1st, vanishing straight into an index fund before your brain can convince you that you need a new jacket. Another $250 goes into a high-yield savings account. You live on the remainder. It's lean, but the panic is gone. Then comes the test. It's 6:45 a.m. in mid-November. You turn the key in your ignition, and the starter gives a wet, pathetic, metallic click. Nothing. The tow truck arrives 40 minutes later. The mechanic calls you at noon. Head gasket's blown, water pump is shot. It's going to be $2,100. 5 years ago, that phone call would have shattered your month. You would have paced your living room, heart hammering, calculating which credit card had enough room left, spiraling into a quiet rage about how the universe is rigged against you. Instead, you take a slow breath. You open your app, transfer $2,100 from your liquid emergency reserve to checking, and tell the mechanic to proceed. Sitting at your desk that afternoon, you notice something strange. You aren't angry. You aren't panicked. You feel a cold, steady, unfamiliar emotion. Control. You pay for the breakdown with cash, plug the leak, and start rebuilding the fund the very next week. At 35, the market drops 22% over a brutal 5-month stretch. Every news headline claims the economy is collapsing. You watch your hard-earned balance drop by thousands of dollars in real time. Your stomach churns every morning. But you don't touch the buttons. You keep the automation running. You buy shares at a discount when every nerve in your body tells you to run. By winter, the market recovers, but something far more important changed while you were holding the line. You're standing in a hardware store looking at lawnmowers. Your cheap electric one burned out after 2 years. There's a basic plastic model for $140 and a heavy-duty steel deck model for $320 with a 10-year warranty. At 25, you buy the $140 one without hesitation, because next week's balance is all that matters. But now, you stand in the aisle doing a different calculation. The $320 model costs less per year over its lifespan. It saves you 3 trips to the store. It handles real wear. You buy the expensive one, wheel it to your car, and realize your timeline has expanded. You are no longer surviving 30 days at a time. You are operating in half decades. At 37, your phone rings at 8 p.m. on a Sunday. It's your younger sister. Her voice is tight, holding back tears. Her dog needs emergency surgery. She's short $2,500. She's embarrassed to ask. She stammers through excuses. You interrupt her mid-sentence. What's your Zelle? I've got it. You send the money before you even hang up the phone. You don't ask for a repayment schedule. You don't log it in a debt ledger. You go to bed and sleep like a child. That night, you finally understand what all the spreadsheets, the packed lunches, and the automated transfers were actually for. It wasn't about buying a luxury car. It wasn't about hitting a brag-worthy net worth number on Reddit. Wealth is the ability to absorb life's blows so the people you love don't have to. It is the power to say, I've got this, without ruining your own future in the process. You wake up on your 40th birthday. You lie in bed for a minute, remembering the 31-year-old who couldn't sleep because of a $355 monthly leak and a warped countertop. You pull up your portfolio balance, $218,400. You aren't retired on a yacht, you aren't a millionaire, but you are 40 years old, entirely free of consumer debt, sitting on a solid rock of capital that generates thousands of dollars a year, all by itself, while you sleep. You didn't get lucky. You didn't win a lottery. You just stopped looking away. You chose 5 years of quiet discipline over a lifetime of silent panic. You make your coffee, step out onto the porch, look at the morning sky, and realize the most valuable thing you built. You finally own your own time.